Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Broadcasting live from Strong Island Studios in Massapequa, New York.
You're listening to Man Up
with Eric Holzman and Matt Wieman.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. What's up?
Welcome to another installment of Man Up with my host, Eric Holzman.
Yes.
As always.
Yes.
Hope everyone had a safe and happy and a little festive, you know what I mean, New Year. I definitely did. And we're going to get into a lot of exciting topics here today. Definitely got to touch on the playoffs for the NFL, the national championship game and the playoffs that just happened. The Knicks, and maybe a few other things. Eric, what did you do over New Year's? Anything special?
No, my New Year's was kind of tame this year.
You didn't get that kiss that we were talking about last week?
No one called.
Shame on you guys. No one called Eric.
No one called me, and no one messaged me to come spend New Year's with me, so it's all right.
It's okay, buddy.
It's not a problem.
It's always next year.
Yep.
And you've had them, those kisses years before.
I've had them before, yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, but no, I mean it was pretty tame this year. I just spent it with my sister and her family and my other sister, and we're just the one who lives near here actually. And I just kind of hung out there, spent it with my nieces and nephews.
Saw some pictures.
Yeah. I went out to dinner. We went out to dinner first. It was a nice night.
Cool. So what I did, not to bore everyone, I was out in Bathing Hollow near Giorgio's, the wedding hall. My friend has a condo out there, and me and my girlfriend and them, we hung out there for 2 days. Pretty much drank, ate food, watched football, played some DraftKings, even though Week 17 is like crazy because you don't know who's playing, who's not.
True.
The list of inactives was like almost like you were watching Week 4 of preseason.
That is true.
Yeah, but it was fun. And on to 2018, the first show.
Yeah,
here it is. Boom.
Crazy.
Direct.
18 already.
Yeah. So.
God, my life just keeps going faster and faster.
Yeah, but don't think about it. That's the way I do it.
You can't. You just gotta
so the first major sporting event of 2018 was the college football playoffs. It happened yesterday.
Yesterday was technically bowl day. That used to be the day all the bowls were on.
Yep.
Not anymore. So.
But yeah, it was Georgia versus Oklahoma, which I watched part of it. It was a crazy game. They went to OT.
That game. I watched the entire game.
See, I was the other way. I went the other way because I was like, I really want to see the third matchup against, Alabama and Clemson.
Right.
But that game was entertaining. The prior game and Rodney Anderson, I'd watched for the first quarter or two. Mm-hmm. He was killing it, and then it ended up being one of the highest scoring bowl games ever.
Yeah, it topped last year's. I think last year's Rose Bowl was the highest scoring ever, and then this year's beat it.
Yep.
So
the weird thing is actually the Rose Bowl parade wasn't yesterday, I was told.
It was yesterday morning.
Was it?
I was on in the morning.
I think they just pre-taped it because usually it's over the weekend. They have a certain, I don't know. That's what I was told. I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm full of shit. Excuse
I don't
my
know.
Language, but maybe I am. So before we get into anything else.
Yes. No. That has to wait.
Oh no, that's not waiting. We're getting that out of the way. It's going to be a 2-second thing.
We won't be able to see it.
Well, what do you mean?
How are we going to...
So we're going to have Eric stand up here, and he's going to bow down to me because you know what?
I'm not bowing.
You did. Well, then do it from your chair because you need to man up for your bet. And just so anyone who missed, Eric said the Jets would not win one more game for the rest of the season.
And they won one.
But you know what? It's that one you said they weren't going to win.
You're right.
So this will be the first one. It might be a half-ass bow, but I want a legitimate one.
There we go.
All right. Go Jets. You're more bowing to the hat. That's why I wore it. So anyway, that's out of the way. Now we can talk about the Jets. If you want to move on to that, I don't know if you have something else you want to talk about before we get into that.
Well, no, I mean, I think there were some really good performances in the in the Georgia Oklahoma game. Sony Michel and Nick Chubb were incredible.
They're the leading rushing combo of all time NCAA.
Yeah, they were incredible. I mean, Oklahoma's defense really, really was exposed yesterday. It's not good at all.
Not to say Georgia's was lighting it up
no,
either, though.
but which is the funny part because their defense was really good most of the year. Mm-hmm. But they were better. In the second half, Baker Mayfield did nothing. They were up 31-14, and they wound up losing the game. So the defense made adjustments. I forget the linebacker's name on Georgia who won the Buckus Award. I'm forgetting his name now, but he was incredible.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Roquan.
Yeah, Maxwell or something. Isn't it something like that?
I forget, but he was incredible, and it really changed the game. Like their defense changed the game. They were great in the second half, and that game was fun to watch. If you like offense, that game was fun to watch. It wasn't and like I said, the second half though, Georgia's defense was the difference, and that's why they won in overtime, and they're in the national championship game.
The other game.
Since you watched that one, you could...
Well, I watched it, but I turned it off after a while because I was just like, okay, this isn't what I thought it would be.
Right.
I thought it would be a close game like the other two games had been the previous 2 years. They were, of course, the national championship game, not the semifinal like this year. Alabama wind up blowing them out, so to speak. Not really a blowout, but definitely a clear, decisive win. 24 to, I think it was like 6 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, Kelly Bryant is not Deshaun Watson. I think we can say. I think we can put it that way.
Let's be fair, though.
He's not.
Deshaun Watson had, he's a junior and he was a senior.
Oh,
it wasn't like he was, or whatever he was, sophomore and junior. He had years.
He still, obviously, is a superior talent to Kelly Bryant.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean you're not going to always have someone that comes in. But
no, not at all. But I'm just saying, you could see the difference. That was the difference to me. I only watched a little of the game, but plays that Watson would make, this guy couldn't make, and that's fine.
Now, we didn't really mention it when you were reviewing the other game, but that kid that's a quarterback at Georgia.
Fromm?
Yeah, he's a true freshman, and he literally was unfazed.
Yeah.
So you didn't see the same thing from Kelly Bryant,
No.
the way you're talking about. Unfortunately, he went the other way. But Alabama, even though they had losses and they probably shouldn't have even made the playoffs,
I didn't think they deserved it.
They will probably, we'll see what happens, but they'll inevitably probably win. They're the best team, regardless of what the numbers say.
I don't think so. I think Georgia's better than them this year. Because I don't trust. Alabama's defense is always great.
Their D-line's
right.
best in the country.
Their defense is always great. I don't know. It's really going to be, and both these teams have really good defenses. So it's really going to be a battle of which quarterback is better. And I think Fromm has gotten better over the season as opposed to
true freshman.
Name. I know.
It's
weird. I'm a Notre Dame fan. That was the first big game that he played at Notre Dame Stadium. They won by a point. And I remember watching the game and I was like, this kid's got a long way to go. He was rusty, missing throws, but he really has improved. And
that's what you want to see. I mean, and obviously he got his team to the national championship with the assistance of the two running backs who I had mentioned are the leading combo in NCAA history for most rushing yards. I think it's 9,000 and something.
They'll both be in the NFL.
There should be an asterisk on that, though, like I said, because I don't know if you guys know, but I think it was 5 years ago they started counting bowl games towards collective regular season stats.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And guys like Eric Dickerson and whoever else, they had the record previously, but none of their bowl games were counted.
Right,
so it's kind of whatever.
That's true.
But who cares about college stats? I mean, if that was everything, then Tim Tebow would be the best quarterback in NFL history. I like Tebow, but we're not going to get into that.
Right, if you're projecting NFL success, that doesn't really mean
or Ken
anything.
Dorsey or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Matt Leinart. The list goes on.
Right. Yes, the list would go on.
So I know I jumped the gun before with the Jets thing, but we'll get to them in a second. I think that Alabama's going to inevitably win. They have the best coach, arguably, ever. And I don't think he's going to let this championship game slip away like he did the last time. I just don't.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been impressed with them all year. I think they've been shaky all season. Yesterday was obviously the best game that they've played, I think. Okay. Can they do that again? Georgia's been steady most of the season. They had the hiccup against Auburn, obviously. Yep. Which surprised. Since I'm bringing up Auburn, I want to bring up that game as well, because Central Florida.
I know, right?
A team that a lot of people said didn't deserve it because their strength of schedule wasn't up there. They were undefeated.
Yep.
Didn't get into the playoff. I thought they should have been in ahead of Alabama. Obviously now you can say Alabama earned it, so that's fine. And they beat Auburn, a team that beat both of the finalists. So
listen, Central Florida, they come and they go. They actually were all right a few years ago with Storm Johnson. You remember him? The running back went to the Jags, I think, after, never really did anything. He was their quarterback for a while. I remember that.
Props to them, man. I mean, that's they really didn't have great wins in the year. They beat Memphis when they were ranked. There was a couple of other teams that they beat.
You never know where those teams are going, though.
All right, but to me, this is like Boise State. It's like those teams that they're mid-majors, so they don't really get get the recognition
The
they
clout.
deserve. And they probably did deserve to be in the playoff. And this goes to the further point that college football needs to expand this playoff.
It's just
from
going to
4
keep
teams
being.
to 8
It's
teams.
like, yeah. Well, listen, I agree with that.
That's it.
But-
I said 8 teams.
Yeah, but
What's the problem?
the timelines are weird. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think you can go to 6.
No, you go to 8.
No, you go 6 with a bye.
You go to 8 and you can make what's it called? Since you basically start playing bowl games from like December 22nd through through January 8th, you could definitely fit in
You
these
could,
games
but I just don't see it happening. I'm
in
saying,
other spaces. That's all.
you really think they're going to double the amount of teams? I think they're going to go with 2 extra. If
Well, when
they
the
got to that
BCS
point.
had it, it used to be what? They were the 4 big. It was the big 4 games, right? You had the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl,
Cotton Bowl.
the Fiesta Bowl, and the Orange Bowl. Those were the 4.
No, but Cotton rotated the
Big-
national championship, whatever.
So
it
yeah,
was.
but like you're saying, the
Yeah.
Cotton Bowl, that's another well-known bowl. Why don't you just throw them into the playoff? That could be another
Yeah.
bowl game. You know?
It's all about money, so I'm sure people wouldn't turn it down.
It is.
But these are
It
2
is.
SEC teams, right,
Yeah.
that are in the playoffs. So some people have issues with that. We'll see what happens. It could be interesting. I think the game will be entertaining, and I'm excited. So,
Yeah. I mean, again, it's 2 SEC teams. The SEC perennially
What do you guys
is the
think?
best conference. Yeah. If anyone-
516-945-9099.
Yes.
Do you think, first of all, let us know who you think is going to win. Second of all, do you think it's BS that there's 2 SEC teams? And I know I have a lot of followers in Florida, especially, or from Florida, that probably will comment about, Central Florida kind of getting snubbed. But it is what it is at this point. So, like I said, I know I jumped the gun on the Jets, but I had to. I just had to get that bow.
Right. You had to get to take your bet.
For my
You're winning.
JETS.
You're winning.
But the Jets finished, I know I'm going reverse order here, but the Jets finished inevitably the season with 6th pick. So before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of the players, how they did, what's going on in the future, are you happy with the way the season turned out?
Well, it was a better season than I thought it would be. So I guess in a way I am, because it gave me, at least early on in the year, it gave me something to watch and something to actually have a rooting interest for outside of my fantasy teams and, just being a fan of football. So it definitely, for that part of it, yes. Again, though, for the future of the team, I'm not sure it was the best thing that could happen. We
Dude,
don't
they
know.
have number 6. It's not like they have number 11
Yeah,
or
but-
whatever.
Yeah,
I
but-
maintained all along that I still thought they were going to be in position to get a quarterback, and I still think they are. Because if you look at it this way, right, Cleveland's got 1. All right. 2 is the Giants. 3 is the Colts. 4 is Cleveland. 5 is Denver. Cleveland's not taking 2 quarterbacks. They might trade out of one of those spots.
True,
The Colts are not taking a quarterback unless they get rid of Andrew Luck.
which they won't.
Denver probably will take a quarterback.
Denver will. They've already said it.
Probably will.
Well, Elway said today that that's the conundrum they're trying to solve. So either they're going to take a quarterback again, or maybe they'll be in the market for Kirk Cousins
Or Saquon Barkley.
or Eli Manning.
Oh, you mean in free agency?
Yes.
Yes. But that's the Jets also. Could you imagine that, by the way? Do you think that would ever happen?
We'll get to Cousins later. 'Cause
No, I'm not talking
I
about Cousins anymore.
Okay.
I'm talking about Eli. Would you
about-
imagine the Jets?
Oh, come on.
But why is that so? Well, first of all, we've done well with veteran quarterbacks. We have a good track record with them.
Right.
Even Brett Favre, before he lied about
Right.
his injury, because he was great until
His
then.
bicep, yeah.
McCown, Fitzpatrick, Eli. We have $100 million.
For 1 year. Because the second year they sucked.
Well, what you'd probably
so we
trade.
gotta
Yeah.
go for 1 year.
I think he'd sign a 2-year deal if he gets cut for wherever he goes. Just
I don't think he would. That would be the craziest thing. I
It would,
cannot
but-
see him staying in New York and playing with the Jets.
It would, but it's not inconceivable. And honestly, we'd have the bankroll to do it. And you never know,
And
right?
you know what? I think it would be a tough pill for Jet fans to swallow because many Jet fans have killed this guy.
Yeah.
for many
I
years.
too. Me too.
I have too.
But he's better than anything we have, and
It's true. He would
we
be.
have money.
He would be the better best player that they
So
have.
back to the 6th pick. I think we're in position to get the 3rd best quarterback,
Okay.
whether that be Josh Allen, Mayfield, or whatever happens. I don't
see.
think Donald's coming out.
I don't think Darnold's coming out either. And I've been saying that for
Is it Darnold or Donald?
Darnold. Darnold.
See?
And I don't think and I've been saying that since like October. I've heard a lot, I would read a lot of things about him and how flippant he was about the draft questions. He really didn't answer them. He was kind of like, yeah, we'll see, whatever. The other guys who are obviously Mayfield has to come out, but like Rosen has pretty much
Lamar
been like
Jackson.
yeah, Lamar Jackson to me,
Allen.
if you're gonna swing for the fences, Lamar Jackson's the guy you pick because
No way, man.
because overall talent wise he's probably the best guy.
No way.
Great, he has
man.
he has a great arm. He's fast.
What's
move in
great
the
about
pocket.
his arm? Have you watched the same Lamar Jackson for the last 2 seasons?
He's got
that
a great
I have?
arm. He can make
What's
every
a
throw.
great arm?
He can make every throw.
He doesn't have a great arm.
Okay.
He might be able to make a throw, but it's because he's on the run. And
Oh.
I'll tell you right now, he'll
Wait.
get. How many shows do you think he actually? I mean, games. Do you think he actually stays on the field though?
No, I mean, obviously, like I said, there are questions. There's always questions. You're right. He's not the biggest. He doesn't have the biggest build. It would be a risk. But I'm just saying, when I look at overall talent, he
Because of
has
his
all of
speed?
it. He's what the NFL is going to now. That's where the NFL is going.
Yeah, if you're taller and bigger, but he's not. Dude, because then why wouldn't you say this sophomore guy? Well, obviously he's not coming out this year. The guy that's UCF's quarterback isn't that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like whatever to me. I don't think at 6 you take Lamar Jackson. I think you're absolutely out of your mind if you think.
No,
that.
I didn't say you would take him there. I said because he's not, for the reasons you state, you wouldn't
Yeah.
take him there. I'm just saying everything being equal, if I'm looking at talent, just pure talent, I think has the most pure talent. That's my opinion.
You want to know what I think what we're gonna do, right?
They're
We're
not
taking Saquon at 6. We're taking Saquon at 6, and 6 has been a great pick for us. By the way, 5 and 6 have been good.
Oh, yeah,
7, whatever. Those
You know what's
range.
crazy? You know what's crazy? Leonard Fournette, he was good this year, right? You'd say good
He was
season?
okay. He was
Good
okay.
season?
He got injured a lot, so I
Uh-huh.
would say that
Yeah. Who was the best running back this year? Rookie running back?
coming out,
Yeah. No, who's the best rookie running back in the NFL this year?
Kamara.
Okay, where was he picked?
But there's other guys.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
But no, hold
You
on,
can
hold on, hold on,
find
hold on.
running backs.
I'm not saying you can't, but who's all right? So who's the best player in the NFL this year?
Best player?
Yeah, there's only one answer.
Gurley?
100%. And where was he picked? Top 10.
No, but
I understand what you're saying, but I
point
think
is,
there's certain
you
guys
can
that are
find
generational.
running backs later in the draft and that are good and that are going to help you win. That's the point I'm making. Most good quarterbacks are picked early. Most are picked early.
Yes and no now. Second round and past it. Second
Well-
round's kind of interesting now because
I mean, there's been quarterbacks picked in the second round who are good.
there's that many guys that have been picked that are good in the last few years
or
that
who
are
have
also
been
bad
good. Right.
in
right.
the first round.
No, yeah. I mean, obviously it's a crapshoot.
You have years
It's
like
always a
Mariota
crapshoot.
and Winston where we don't know what's going to happen with them.
Yeah, Mariota was a little, well, before he
He had weapons this year though. There's no reason.
he got a little banged up too. Every time a quarterback gets banged up, they never seem to be the same that season.
Well, especially because he's a runner,
right. I
you
mean,
know. But
his athleticism is part
I don't
of his
think
game.
that they made the playoffs, so you can't.
Winston, I 100% agree with you on.
I know you, but I'm
That guy.
He's a head case, but his talent, I think he's got a better talent. If you're talking about skill set, he's better than Mariota overall. 'Cause he's got a better arm.
That's why he got picked.
So McCagnon and Bowles got an extension after a 5-11 season.
Yes.
I agree with. We did our. I don't know if anyone caught our Facebook Live post. Eric went first. I went second. We didn't plan it.
No, I just.
I saw it and I was like,
chest.
no way! I'm doing it. I'm saying something. All right. So Eric feels one way about it, and I feel the other. On both people, I'm thinking.
I'm more inclined to be okay with Bulls staying at this point.
I would be the other way.
If only because, well, I don't know. McCagnon, to me, his draft record is really bad. I don't think he's done, and you can kind of blame Bowles for that too, because he's picking the guys, but Bowles isn't developing them. So you can kind of say it's more of his fault.
How long has McCagnon been here? 3 years now? Or
They've
2?
both been the same amount of time.
No. But is this going to be their third year?
They're going to their fourth year. This would be their fourth season.
Okay.
Because remember, they went 5-11, 10-6.
I can't say that your statement is accurate then.
Well, I mean, the way the Jets do things, they're locked. They're tied at the hip anyway.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in terms of you saying he's had
So-
bad drafts, I don't think that's the case. I think he's actually hit on the top
Well-
picks pretty well, the top 2 rounds. Also, he signed a guy like Robbie Anderson. He's the thing that.
All right.
Go ahead, but I'll tell you why I think that he should definitely have been signed and why he is.
The glaring problem with this team is what position,
Quarterback.
and who did he pick in the second round?
Christian Hackenberg.
And has the guy played it down yet?
We're gonna get to that in a minute, but
But I'm just saying that's what.
but that's not.
That's a huge red
That's a second round
though.
pick. But who cares? People get picked in the second round all the time.
I
that
agree with
never
you.
play,
Long term,
you know?
it doesn't matter because the money, like, it's not a big investment. You don't pay a lot of money for a second round pick. So if you're gonna
But
mess
that's
up
not
on a
his
quarterback,
fault, I don't think.
no, if you're gonna mess up on a quarterback, I'd rather it be in the second round than the first. Always, like that's what you say. But still, he drafted this guy, and he can't even get on the field.
See,
He barely
Well, first of
dresses.
all, Bowles came out and said that he's ready, and so did McCagnon.
Yeah, well,
They should have played him. Before we get off track, because we're going to talk about that in a second. But they should have played him in this past game. But I think McCagnon, the reason why he's so good is his trades. He doesn't make any bad trades. He hasn't made one bad trade, literally.
but I agree with you. But
The value of his trades are unbelievable.
It's a complete. You got to look at the complete
Yeah,
body of work. Like,
and
you
I
can't
think
just. And I will say this and the reason why I said I'd sign more with Bowles is because I expected them to be trash this year, and he got more out of them than I thought he would. So
But is that
I give him the credit for coaching them up and getting them to play better than probably they would.
But why did they play better?
Well,
Because
obviously,
guys stepped up.
right. The talent's always. You have to have talent. Period. That's it.
But yeah, but I mean, he made this.
But look at someone like DeMario Davis, right? Who was almost out of the league,
He was in Cleveland.
and he was great this year.
When
he
you're
was
in
great.
Cleveland, you're out of the league.
But no, but I'm saying though, he wasn't a full-time player there.
But that's a trade.
But I'm just saying, Bowles got him back, and now he's good. He put him in position to succeed. Darren Lee got better this year. He put him in a position to succeed. The only players who didn't get better were on the defensive line, where all the money is. But that's neither here nor there. Wilkerson's a bum, and
Wilkerson's got mental problems, not because of his mental inability to think, just the fact that he's so selfish. It seems like he flipped. I don't know what it was, but McCagnon made the moves to get DeMario Davis. He was the one that signed Josh McCown when we thought we had no quarterback.
Right.
He said and then Bowles, but Josh McCown, Bowles didn't do anything with him.
No,
I'm sorry.
That might be Morton, who Bowles hired. So maybe you give Morton the credit.
But
You
the
don't know.
point, point is, these two guys, when you look back to when they came in, the Jets are in a better position for the future, in my opinion, right now than they've been in a long time. Because even when we were winning with Rex Ryan, we were old. We were old, all right? We didn't have youth. We had maybe the D-line like we do now, like same thing, but we didn't have the secondary pieces. We had Revis, who was old. We had people that were...
Revis was in his prime. He wasn't old.
He was old at a certain point.
No, but when we were winning,
Oh, he was in his prime.
He was in his prime.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of his age, technically,
Right.
for the NFL, he was old.
He was
still.
towards the right.
And that's why he fell off like he did. He got injured, whatever. But the point is, Bowles, first of all, deserves to be there because the young guys, they buy into him.
Right. I don't particularly like the way he coaches, but clearly the players have responded. So
And the old coordinator is good too.
Again, he was better than, like I said, the offense was much better than we thought it would be.
I think it's attributed to the quarterback more than the offensive coordinator. I could be wrong, but he's a veteran quarterback. Hasn't done great. Just had a good year. It happens.
I wish they would play Bilal Powell more, but that's
well, Bilal Powell has a hard time staying on the field.
That's
and that's
my
why.
own personal little.
But they don't give him his quantity.
I
because
wish they would have
hurt.
just let Matt Forte go.
Yeah, I would have liked that too.
But whatever.
I agree with that, especially when McGuire stepped up. But I mean, it's kind of hard to do that in a season like this. So, Robbie Anderson emerged. The Curse deal was an awesome deal for us.
Yeah, I mean, when you
Honestly,
look at it,
at the 6th spot, they can
you
move
get a
up.
second-round pick, and Curse was good for Sheldon Richardson. That was good. That was a really good move. And like I said, the linebackers, Davis, Lee, and Jenkins is good too. Jordan Jenkins is good too.
If Andrew Luck, if he gets cleared and he's healthy,
Yeah.
and a trade comes across for 6 for Andrew Luck, would you do it?
No, I wouldn't trade. No, I'm not doing that.
Even if there's like a clause in it that they get like whatever back if he's injured or whatever it is.
I'm not keen on trading for guys who
Proven
shoulder
winners?
injuries.
Yeah, that's a big
A
deal.
shoulder injury is a big deal for
But so
me.
was Drew Brees. Remember when?
No, I mean it. Obviously, it can happen.
Yes.
I'm not saying it'd be a terrible move. I said I wouldn't do it for that reason and for being such a high pick. He's great when he's healthy. We've seen him, tremendous player. What he did with basically with no offensive line to speak of was incredible. Took teams to the playoffs. He's an excellent player. I don't know, being injured and missing a whole year and year and a half pretty much.
We already went through that with Chad Pennington, but look, he was our
Right,
best
so-
quarterback in the last 20 years, pretty much.
I don't like compounding the issue.
I know.
Mistake.
But I still think if he gets cleared medically and you have some kind of insurance where, hey, we get a second back or something if, like, he's done or whatever it is,
right.
I would take that, like in a heartbeat. There's
Yeah,
not
I
even
mean,
a question.
If there's some kind of contingency where they get something else, if a medical issue should reoccur, then sure.
Well, think about it. You have 2 seconds, then still whatever it is, like.
And really quickly, before we move on, we touched on Hackenberg.
Will you stop hitting the mic with your chin? It's bugging me.
I like it. Fine.
Anyway.
But Bryce Petty, what do you do with him? Do you think...
Does he have to be resigned, or is that it?
I don't know if he's got another year left. I'm not sure his contract situation. But do you think he's a competent backup, or do you
want to know what I
just-
think would happen?
What?
I feel like he's going to end up on the Patriots.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, it's not out of the realm.
No,
And he would just be like, ha-ha, in your face. Like,
they're the
you know what I
most
mean?
incestuous teams when it comes to players. It seems like when the
Yeah.
Jets cut someone, the Pats pick them up, and vice versa.
Well, now the
so-
Steelers are coming into that with
that's
James
true.
Harrison. But he actually got a sack this weekend against us.
So what would you do?
I'd probably keep him,
You would?
honestly. I think he's backup worthy. He could step in and let him compete.
I think you keep him if you don't.
You have to keep
If
him
you
or
don't
Hackenberg.
keep McCown. If you keep McCown to keep him on as the veteran, and you draft a quarterback in the draft, then I think you let Petty go.
I think if they keep McCown, he's starting next year.
Maybe early. I can see that.
I don't
early
think they're
on.
going to draft a quarterback high if they keep McCown. I'm telling you.
No, well, I do because he's 39 years old.
I just still don't think so.
Why wouldn't you at that point?
Because they make that mistake
So
all
you
the
think
time.
they're going to suck again and then take Darnold the following year when he comes out?
Maybe. Maybe.
You think they have the foresight to do all this?
Potentially.
We'll see what happens.
I think you can only keep him or Hackenberg. I think it's absolute bullshit.
You have to cut
that they did.
Hackenberg.
No, you don't cut him. Why do you cut him now when you haven't played for 2 years? No, you don't do that. That's insane. He's still on his rookie deal.
Because
No, but he's still on his
he
rookie.
can't play.
Dude, how do you know?
Because he hasn't played yet.
Are you a freaking psychic? It doesn't
Well,
mean
hold
that he
up.
can't play.
We've seen him play.
Preseason does not count.
It counts.
Does not count.
Okay, look at Pat Mahomes, who was great in preseason, right?
Cool. What happened?
And everyone was saying, "Yay, play him, play him."
What
play him."
happened?
I'm just saying, it
Does
counts.
not count.
It counts. It gives
No,
you,
it doesn't count.
It gives you some kind of barometer
It
to
does.
say, okay,
It does not
this
count.
guy is at least competent.
Say whatever you want, but it doesn't count to me. You have to be against actual people in actual game. And it's absolute bullshit that they were down 24-3. I think.
Yeah,
at
they
the-
should have played him.
Going into the fourth.
Yep.
Dude, what do you have to lose? Put him in.
agree.
See what he could do. Like,
Yep.
we're losing. We're not winning the game. There was
See,
no.
that's why I don't think he's in their plans, and that's why I think they're going to get rid of him. Because why wouldn't you play him then?
Yeah, but why wouldn't you hold on to him? He's 22.
Because he can't play.
Dude, you don't. I'm not going to keep
They're
repeating,
not
but you have no
playing him.
idea what he can
But
do.
they're not playing him for some
You have
reason.
no idea what he can do.
Why are they not playing him then?
Because he wasn't ready, and they. And
But then they said today he was ready.
I think that they thought that he's ready, but he's not ready because they have Petty. Petty deserved the shot, and they wanted to see what he could do more.
Okay,
than,
we knew after the first game Petty started that that shit was over.
dude, Petty has had a skeleton crew, and he kind of just. I didn't think he did all that bad.
Why
he
are
did
you
great.
making excuses for these trashy
I'm
players?
not, I'm being-
They're trash juice.
Nah.
Let's just move on from the trash juice.
But they're not, and
Yes, they are. If this was a bottle, it would be Petty trash juice right
Nope.
there. This
Nope.
would be him in here.
Okay, whatever
Right
you guys
now.
say, but
Because he's terrible.
you asked me my opinion. I think you keep one or the other, and you don't look back.
He's terrible.
I think personally they'll cut Petty and they'll keep Hackenberg,
Well, they might do that,
and they're going to sign.
and then Hackenberg won't
I
suit
think
up
they're going to
again for
sign
the next
McCown for
16
2 years.
games.
I think they're going to sign for a short incentive laden
Well,
deal.
keeping him is good no matter which way you go, because he's a good veteran. He's been in the league a while. He's been in a lot of systems. So if you do take a young guy, you have someone there who could explain him the
Yeah,
position.
I just don't get why they didn't play him at all. Like,
I agree.
like the last
100%
game.
agree
The last
with you on
game,
that.
like I just really.
I wanted to see him play.
I was
I at least
frustrated
wanted
by
to,
that.
I at least wanted to see what if he learned anything.
I was frustrated by it, especially. I don't know.
Speaking of another quarterback who didn't play, who probably should have, is Davis Webb. So now we could transition a little to the Giants and
Yeah.
their last game, which they
I don't
won.
think that's the decision they have to worry about. Davis Webb's unfortunately going to be SOL.
Okay, you said that about him, but Hackenberg you say should stay.
But that's a way different
What's
situation.
the difference?
It's a way different situation. He's going to be shit out of luck because we don't have an Eli Manning, and we don't have the second pick in the draft. So how is it the same situation?
Well, no, most teams keep 3 quarterbacks, right?
That doesn't mean anything, though. It could be anyone. I'm just talking about the actual positioning.
Because I'm pretty sure they're not going to keep Geno Smith.
No, well, he'll be gone. But Davis will be there, but he'll be shit out of luck in terms of starting because it's either going to be Eli or the second pick in the draft. There's not going to be...
Right, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Unless Eli, of course, says he wants to go somewhere else.
But Eli, I've listened to this guy, Dave
Which he
Gettleman, who... He's super old and crotchety, but he's also funny in the same way.
Yes, Dave Gettleman, of course.
Yeah, Dave Gettleman.
Is the new general manager of the Giants.
I've heard him on the radio. I've seen his press conference. He's been pretty consistent. He's going to meet with Eli. They're going to see what's up. I personally think he wants him out the door, but he also could see the value in keeping him depending on if they can adjust his contract. Eli's set to make $30 million or something crazy like that. So if Eli pulls Tom Brady and he adjusts his contract, I think it could only mean good things for the Giants. You have Eli for probably 2 more years. You draft a guy. I still think you draft a guy, or you take a mean defensive player at 2, or you trade back.
Yeah, the funny thing is this
to
is
the
the
Jets,
year,
but I don't think they would ever do that. But
the funny thing is this is the year that there's no big time offensive lineman coming out, and that's what the Giants need. The best offensive lineman probably is Mike McGlinchey from Notre Dame.
Yep.
And I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I've watched him all year. He's really good against decent competition, but against the best competition, he was a little exposed. He wasn't as good as I thought he would be. So they really, that's where they really need to address, obviously. And at 2, they have a lot of options. I mean, they really need a lot of.
This guy's a tape. Gettleman is like a tape fiend. Like he's gonna watch so much tape.
I was looking over his resume with Carolina, because he was with Carolina from 2013, 2016. Not that good.
He wasn't, well...
Like, his drafting wasn't that good.
It's not great, but apparently his claim to fame is his evaluation through trades and stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said before with McCagnon, it's a complete job, so you got to be able to do both. I don't know. For Giant fans, I mean, I love his attitude. This guy's got a...
Yes.
You know, he's like,
old school.
He cut Bobby Hart. He's like, yeah, you're done. That's it.
Yeah, well...
I started like 8 games, 9 games. You're done.
Yeah, well, it's because he was apparently a huge issue for a lot of people in the locker room.
And didn't he say, like, he didn't want to play? Or someone said they didn't Eric Flowers said they didn't want to play? And Eric Flowers is now saying, no, I didn't say that. But...
I know that he rubs people the wrong way. Him and Josh Norman had that big falling out. Also, the real issue was also Thomas Davis and Greg Olson. Do you remember that thing?
Yeah.
Where Jerry Richardson, who is technically, I guess, he's still the owner, but he'll be the former owner.
Right.
Him and Gettleman butted heads on what they should do. And ironically, Gettleman was actually right in terms of, because Olson's still great, but he got injured. Thomas Davis, same deal.
Thomas Davis always gets hurt.
But they're impactful players that are core to your organization. That's why you want to keep it around. So I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibilities that we see Eli get cut and then them go for a guy like Cousins, who already plays in the East.
I mean, like I was thinking about that before. Is he, like we've talked about him with the Jets, Cousins with the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
But is he also a Giants target?
Yeah.
Would the Giants consider him if they don't keep Eli?
Yep.
Really quickly, you're like, well, he knows the division, so it would be a smart move if they were going to get a quarterback and didn't want to draft one. Definitely a smart move to bring Cousins in. Like I said, I think he's a guy who can get you here, but not there. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. But he the Giants would be perfect for him because he is in the NFC East and he does know the division. So if the Giants were going that route, Cousins would be perfect.
Yeah, but Eli would have to be gone before that ever happened.
Of course.
Which I don't think is going to happen because they have a lot of different things. Like, I think it's a possibility, but there's a lot of moving pieces before the draft for them to even know if they're going to get rid of Eli.
And really quick, just quickly about the Giants, Orleans Darkwa.
Yeah, he had one big run.
No.
He had a big game.
No, I mean this season though. He was pretty good.
He was good.
If I'm looking at a bright spot from their team outside of maybe Ingram.
Yep. Which you took him in the first round. So
right, so you expect that.
Yeah.
This guy, I don't know. I know he was there last year. He showed some signs. I wonder if the Giants going to stick with him going forward.
They have Gallman. I think that's going to be their guy going forward. I really do.
Well, everyone thought Perkins would be this year. That did not turn out so well.
Well, Jerry Reese didn't know how to draft from anything. I mean, he's terrible. And hopefully the Giants have a better draft, especially with the second pick, like we've been talking about. I think they go quarterback, but if Rosen's... It's weird, right? Because Rosen came out and said he's not playing for Cleveland. But they have the first pick. So does that mean they trade it? Because they can't take a quarterback there? The Jets maybe trade with Cleveland. They'll leapfrog the Giants.
They'll have to give a lot.
Not with 6.
Move up 5 spots.
They'll give a second. They'll give a first next year, like I've been saying.
That's a lot.
But we have an extra second to give.
Right, you have an extra.
So you're really only giving the first next year, but if you're going to get a guy like Rosen,
no,
it's worth it.
He's my favorite quarterback in the draft, so I would be thrilled if they did that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I also think that the Giants might take Saquon as well.
I could see that. I could see that.
It's Gettleman. If you look at the Panthers, run-based team, drafted a lot of running backs. I know you keep saying you can get them you can get anything late.
You can get them late. That's my philosophy. I think you address other things because running backs really are a dime a dozen, in my opinion.
The three positions that have been going like wildfire in the first round are quarterback, cornerback, receiver. Those are in the last few years. Those are the ones. Receivers have been off the chart.
Passing league.
Yeah, that's it. So you have to have those positions. So we'll see what happens with the Giants. I just feel like it's an interesting time for both. This is the first time I can remember that we both have a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And almost essentially it's a top 5, even though it's number 6. But I mean, this is the first time I've ever.
Yeah.
You know, and you're older than I am. I don't know if you.
I can't remember the last time that they both. Might have been. Was it Eli's draft? The Jets pick in the top 10 in that year? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't. Well, top 5 is the really unique thing. I mean, it's like top 6.
That's true.
Whatever. But it's crazy.
Cleveland has 2, so right. So.
That building, it's going to be in Dallas this year, actually. So that should be very interesting in Dallas, in Dallas Stadium.
At least for when the Giants pick.
When New York takes over.
At least for when the Giants pick.
For sure. But I mean, I'm sure you're going to probably hear a lot of booing on that pick. So going into the offseason, I think the Jets are going to spend big. But that's what I thought last year, and they didn't. But this year, I think it's the year for them to step it up. Giants are going to be a little more frugal. I think build off trades, cutting people, and then build through the draft.
Well, Christopher Johnson said today the Jets will be very active in free agency.
Oh,
so
they better with $80 million plus.
So yeah, so they'll have plenty to spend, and
we'll
see what they hit.
Just a list.
I haven't even looked at who's available.
Oh,
so.
I'm just going to tell you. Just a list of just receivers that are available. Mike Evans, Brandon Cooks. Did he sign an extension or no? I can't remember.
I don't know if he did.
Mike Evans, Brandon Cooks if he didn't sign an extension. Odell Beckham Jr. And there's about 5 or 6 other people that are not that level, but right below them. Just receivers.
Yeah, but some of the guys I'm pretty sure.
AJ Boye is also a free agent again.
Going to wind up staying where they are.
I don't know if AJ Boye is. I think he's going to get another payday. Because he was a free agent last year. I think he signed a 1-year deal. I could be wrong about
Cousins.
that. Alshon Jeffrey.
That's true. He's 1-year deal.
There's a lot of people that are going to be out there. I think the Jets focus on the O-line, and hopefully they get another polished. Dude, if they went for Mike Evans, I know he's been whatever, but I would be so happy with a guy like that. If you're getting a young quarterback, you want a giant
Evans.
guy.
I love Evans. I'm a big fan.
And like Jenkins came out today. Austin Safarian said he wants to be a Jet for life, so we'll see what happens there. Which he's shown some signs this year.
They gave him a second chance, so
yeah, for sure. And he's in a good spot. I mean, he has his season of his career this year.
Yeah, he did.
So let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Let's get the Jets and the Giants. We'll talk about them in the coming weeks.
Moving on to actual football that matters now.
Yes. We have about 20 minutes left in the show. We're going to hit all this. Please call in 516-945-9099. We're going to start talking about the playoff teams. So, first of all, before we start talking about all these matchups, I want your Super Bowl prediction.
I like the Saints in the NFC and the Steelers in the AFC.
Okay.
Those are mine.
Okay. Mine is going to be the New England Patriots.
Shocking.
Unfortunately, the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings.
I can't argue with those picks.
I think the Vikings, they have a strong defense. My buddy's probably laughing his butt off right now out there. Calling, like I said, 945-9099. There's a few of the guys out there that are Vikings fans. I think this could be their year. I don't want to jinx them. And we didn't even mention him, but Teddy Bridgewater, the Jets were talking about looking going for him too.
We're not talking about that right now.
I'm just letting you know.
Playoffs.
They're talking about it. The Vikings have one of those defenses that can change the game.
They do.
They also have Sherrills, their punt returner, kick returner. He's electric and super underrated, one of the best in the league.
And Keenum's been good.
Keenum's been better than good.
Yeah, so I mean...
Josh McCown's been good. Keenum's been great
yeah,
this season.
Everything's come together for them. You kind of feel bad, like, what if Dalvin Cook stayed healthy? How good...
Well, they have Latavius Murray and McKinnon. That's why
They're
they
playing
haven't
well,
really... Yeah.
right. But Cook is a dynamic player, so
Yeah.
you just wonder how much better they would have been had he not gotten hurt. I have no arguments with those
So
picks,
the
though.
Saints, huh?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of theirs. I've always been a Drew Brees fan. He's been my quarterback in fantasy for many years. I've won a couple titles with him, so I kind of stick with him.
Fair enough.
I just think they have balance this year. You know, Kamara was great, and he's still the quarterback in the NFC that I think you would say, okay, if the game's on the line, he can win it for you.
Yep.
So, and their defense has been a lot better.
Yep.
So, I think everything's coming together for them. I do think, though, as you said, Minnesota, that's going to be an interesting matchup there if they go that far. Their first round matchup is tough, though. They play the Panthers. So
Yeah, they do. Carolina.
That's a tough matchup for them.
But it's at New Orleans.
Right, and they're usually better, a different team at home.
Who dat?
So, yeah, right.
It's going to be loud. You're going to hear it. Who dat, who dat. But it's a divisional game. I mean,
Right.
They know each other very well.
Right.
They played.
That's the one game that I'm looking at that I'm like, that could be a lot of fun. That game could be a lot of fun because it's their third matchup this year.
So out of that game, who do you pick?
Well, obviously, I'm picking the Saints if I'm taking them to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, I'm going to go against you, and I'm going to take Carolina.
Of course, got to be.
Because, first of all, I want to make sure we're keeping a little tally here.
Okay.
And second of all, throughout the playoffs, by the way.
Right, of course.
And second of all, I really like Carolina. McCaffrey, I don't think there's anyone that, unless Marshawn Lattimore is going to cover McCaffrey, which will probably be on Funchess, I'm assuming. Who's covering him?
They'll probably move him around. I can't imagine. They'll move McCaffrey around too, though. He can play. He could be in the backfield. He could slot out.
Well, that's the issue. Who's covering him out of the backfield?
He's kind of like.
They don't
he's
have
kind of
someone.
like Kamara, right? Like
He really is.
They're kind of the same type player.
Less powerful, but definitely.
Yeah. So you have, like I said, I think it's going to be a really good matchup. That one's going to be fun to watch.
I'm taking Killer Cam. I think he's going to come through, and
he's the other quarterback that I would say, yeah.
He's the X factor.
Yeah,
he really is.
He's that guy.
I know this one's gonna get someone to call on here. So the Buffalo Bills
Yes.
and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, I wanted to talk about the Buffalo Bills. My buddy.
Congratulations, guys.
Yes.
You've made it back to the playoffs after
My buddy John,
God knows how long.
My buddy
18
John
years?
is 17.
17.
Buddy John is a huge Bills fan. Man, he moved to North Carolina this year, and I don't know. A lot of good things have happened for him this year. His wife gave birth to twins, and now the Bills are in the playoffs.
You sure your Skype's not muted? We got to make sure that we have it up. And
Yeah, John, call in.
well, I think it's going to be
share the-
interesting.
Share the love, because I'm happy for you. I told you it was hard for me, but I rooted for them to get in the playoffs.
I think this is the first time Jacksonville's
So-
hosting a playoff game in almost the same amount of time that the Bills have been in the playoffs. I think it was back in the day when they had Garrard, I believe.
Was it Garrard or Brunell?
It could have been. That's 90. We're going back to like 94 or 95, 96, right? That's when they came out.
Well, the Jets played them in '98 when they made their run to the AFC Championship game. That was the first game that they played,
Don't
but it was at the
remind me of
Meadowlands, though.
Oh, look who it is. We'll see who it is. It's probably Mr. John, but we'll see.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello.
Let's go, Bill.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Finally, now we're getting to the good stuff.
So, do you think you guys are going to win or what? Be realistic here. Give us a real outlook.
I think they can win because Jaguars' rush defense is suspect, and Blake Bortles is still the quarterback for the Jaguars.
Very good point.
That's probably the best point you could have made here.
Is McCoy? But what's with McCoy?
McCoy's going to be a game-time decision.
All right.
I think he'll go. And I think that the Bills secondary can shut down the Jaguars receivers.
Yeah.
But I'm not meant to be happy in life in terms of football. Doug Marrone, the guy that quit on the Buffalo Bills, will probably beat the Buffalo Bills.
Hold on. He didn't quit.
Yes, he did. He quit.
I thought he got fired or something weird like that.
Well,
He had a buyout clause in his
Yeah.
contract where if the ownership changed hands,
yeah.
he was able to quit and get
That's
a
what it
$2 million buyout.
Yep.
Fair enough.
That's what
Well,
it
I
was.
mean, $2 million. I mean, that's probably why he quit. But I can't. You guys are probably playing to knock their teeth out, but and I'm not trying
I
to make.
want to win just so they can play the Patriots in the next round and possibly make everyone in the pretty about 95% of the people I know happy that if they could actually beat Tom Brady.
No offense to you, but don't you think the Jaguars have a better chance of stopping the Patriots?
No, because what's the difference between the Jaguars and the Bills?
Defense.
No, but
Bills have a
Buffalo
defense.
traditionally.
Bills have a good defense,
but they traditionally match up well with the Patriots. They do. They do. So.
Oh, they definitely do in division.
So I could see it. I think both teams would have a good shot. The Patriots are good, and they're still the class of the AFC, but they've shown some kinks this year. There's some
for
kinks
sure.
in that armor, and John, I think they have a great shot. So I mean, obviously, I told you, I'm on this ride with you, man.
Beat the Jaguars, and especially in a warm weather game. The Patriots would be obviously tough for anyone.
Yeah.
Because if you fall behind 2 scores against the Patriots, I like Tyrod, but I don't know if he can come back from 2 touchdowns.
I hope they get him on the move a lot, and they do a lot with him this game. I think.
McCoy's a key.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
If you don't have McCoy, it's going to be very,
it's
very
gonna be
tough.
tough.
It's going to be very tough.
McCoy's the key if they win the turnover battle. If they can get like the real Blake Bortles, like
Yeah.
The one from
2011 to 2015 Blake Bortles to show up.
That's a good point.
Well, no, wasn't 2015 the good year for Blake Bortles? You want the 2016 version because every other year, remember?
How about the one from last week? Not this past week, but the week before.
Yeah, we want the Bortles from last week.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, that's
exactly.
the one you want.
We don't want that. We don't want that one fantasy good year Bortles.
Yeah, right. So I do think you guys have a chance. I just honestly, I don't want to be upsetting you, but I'm pulling for Jacksonville. I got family in Jacksonville. And
So really quickly, is there a Bills contingent in the Carolinas that you can
drive on down with maybe?
My contingent is going to be in the confines of my own home
I like it.
because I don't need this kind of arrest on my
Oh man. Well, listen, we wish
Is
you
is Nicole supporting you in this one?
Cole actually supported me. 'Cause
That's good.
Watching enough Bills games with me while we're married, as a Jet fan, she goes, I thought being a Jet fan was bad. This is actually, this
She's
could be
seen
worse.
the other
What they
side.
she goes, what they put you through is terrible. I feel so bad. But I'm in shock because before the season starts, you trade your top corner, your top receiver.
That's true.
And they still make the playoffs.
That's a very good point.
By the way, that was totally a catch by Kelvin, that game. The
Yeah.
one in the end zone? I thought they robbed him.
In 31 other NFL cities, it's a catch, but it was in New England.
That's
so
the way it is, man.
We know that's
We
how
all
it goes.
know this, the deal with the devil.
We all know that one. All AFC East teams know that better than anyone.
Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck.
Take care, guys.
Later.
All right, John.
So
Go
yeah,
Bills.
I'm picking Jacksonville. What about you?
I'm picking Buffalo. I gotta ride with them. I told John I'd ride with them. I do for the reasons he said. They have a great shot. That Jacksonville's defense has been great, but they got exposed.
There's only one reason they have a shot. It's called Blake Bortles. Let's be honest.
No, I mean, if like you said, if LaShawn McCoy plays.
Well, also the health of the receivers for Jacksonville is a big deal as well.
Yep.
Because they've been very spotty, right? Okay, so split on that one as well.
Yes.
All right, the next game, Tennessee Titans versus at Kansas City. Who do you have and why?
I like the Chiefs only for the main reason is because they're home, and that building is a tough place to play. So, and I kind of defend Alex Smith to a lot of people, so so I kind of got to ride with
back
him
him
on
out?
this one. I'm not gonna back that. No,
Future Jets quarterback?
I think, like I said to a lot of people with him, he has limitations, but it seems like everywhere he goes, he wins.
He also has ridiculous weapons.
So, well, this time, yes.
Yeah.
But he didn't before this, and they still won and got in the playoffs. So, but yes, they have weapons this year. Kelsey and
I'm taking them too.
Hill
Sorry.
and Hunt and yeah,
I'm agreeing with you on this.
Tennessee. I like Tennessee. I'm not sure how Mariota's going to play. He's kind of the...
That's the thing is, like,
know?
what if he goes off and he's just like,
No, the talent's
Mr.
there.
Clutch.
He could. You never know. Talent's there for him. They have 2 really good running backs.
They can
Henry
stay
and
in
Murray.
it, but I agree with you. I mean, at KC, that's one of the toughest places to play.
Walker
Arrowhead
is a
Stadium.
really good tight end. I mean, they have pieces
elite.
too. Yeah, they have pieces too. But if I'm looking at it and I'm saying Kansas City, if Kansas City's full defense with all their players were there, like burying everyone, I would think it would be a wash. Like I don't even think.
I'm going to go a step further.
But what's up?
If Kareem Hunt plays like Kareem Hunt, they're going to blow them out.
Well, yeah.
They're going to blow them out.
Andy Reid needs to stop being cute and just get him the ball.
That's
there were
it.
so many times this year when they were going through that losing streak, I'm like, this dude's not touching the ball.
Okay.
So we both like Kansas City.
Both Kansas City on this one. We're not
All
going
right.
to get. So that's a wash, that one. The last game for Wild Card Weekend, which these games are Saturday, right? All 4 of them?
It's usually 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
2 Saturday, 2 Sunday?
Yeah, usually.
I thought DraftKings said 4 in the same day. I could
Maybe.
be wrong.
I don't know.
So if Atlanta gets up 28-3 on the Rams,
Now, I have friends. I have a lot of friends
this is the toughest game to pick.
who
by
are
the way,
Falcons
Maya.
fans.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends, and I felt terrible for them last year in the Super Bowl. I felt so bad for them. But I'm a believer of the Rams. I really like them this year. Gurley, as we said, we both think he's the MVP of the league. And Goff has been great, too. Their defense is good enough, especially the defensive line's very
They
good.
have 3 receivers. When Woods is on the field, he's like a different player than he's ever been.
So I really, really like them. And if it was in Atlanta, I might feel differently because I could see the Falcons playing well at home, having to travel cross country. I really just think the Rams are going to take this game.
I'm going with the Rams also.
Yep.
I'm very interested to see how that stadium is. It's their first home game. They're in LA. Like, it's a big deal. It's the first playoff game in LA in 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. And that place should be jumping. And the cool thing, Robert Woods, like I said, and we never even alluded to this, he played at USC. They played in that stadium, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the soul of Robert Woods from USC, where he was like literally the best
was
receiver
really
in the
good.
nation,
Yeah.
has come out this year. But you know, you might have a guy like an unsigned. You never know with that team. I mean, you know, Gurley and Goff are going to be good, but you never know. It could be Kupp, it could be Woods, it could be Watkins. Very rarely Watkins, even though
It
they
should be Watkins. I don't know why they
listen.
don't throw him the
Whatever
ball
it
now,
is,
but-
he's done better. He's been consistent. He hasn't been injured. That's kind of the big thing for
guess.
him, right? Maybe he'll emerge next year a little more so.
It is amazing. The one player that still amazes me that in this great season for the Rams, who they paid and who hasn't done anything, is Tavon Austin.
I know.
Like
well, that was
they
the past
paid him
GM,
money,
you know.
but I'm just saying, he's
terrible.
electric though. He can make things happen.
He's-
They can't figure out a way to get him involved and do
He's
stuff
not
with
that
him?
type of guy anymore in my mind. He lost a step.
How did he
He's
lose a step?
small.
He hasn't gotten hurt.
He has gotten hurt.
I don't know. I don't get it.
He's also old now. He's not young. When they drafted him that high, I was like, wow, that's a reach.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
And the 8, but even though the Jets wanted him the next pick, you remember that?
Yeah.
But who knows? He might have been great for us, right? Santana Moss
Didn't
style.
they take Milliner? So they just got screwed on that anyway.
That was I thought that was a different draft.
Might have been. Might have been.
So yeah, I mean, I'm taking LA, and that's it. So we are the same on 2 games, and we're split on the Carolina and Jacksonville game. Carolina and New Orleans, and Buffalo at Jacksonville were split. So the funniest thing that happened that I literally found out on the way here is that Marvin frickin' Lewis, even though he was like, hey, I'm good, I'm going to be leaving, whatever, they re-signed him again.
I didn't even hear that, did they? Get the hell out of here. I didn't know that.
My buddy Mike Marks said that, so if it's wrong,
I'm going to check and
blaming
see.
you. But apparently he re-upped again. They re-signed him again.
Yeah.
Isn't that absurd?
Through 2019. What?
Any Bengals fans? That's a complete joke, dude. A few weeks ago we were talking about it. We were like, oh, good, he's going to be...
Look, people always like, well, they were garbage before he got there and he brought them respectability. And
No.
how long you going to reward a guy for
Talk
that?
about mediocrity.
He
This is
can't
insane.
win a playoff game. Ever.
So...
You
Other
have AJ Green on your team, and Dalton's not terrible. I don't want to hear that he's adequate, and you can't win a freaking playoff game.
You know who you know why I think Marvin Lewis got hired? again, because I sincerely think that maybe the GM for them or the president is a Bills fan and was happy how the Bengals came back and got the Bills in the playoffs on that miracle.
Well, you heard that the Bills fans are giving Andy Dalton's charity.
Money because of it.
Yeah, because of the.
That's hilarious to me.
That's awesome.
Another big rumor going around. We only have about a minute left here. Gruden he's come out publicly and said he's interested in Oakland. Oakland wants him. Probably a reunion there. That should be very interesting.
Yeah, it's a joke to me because you know there's the Rooney Rule and you're supposed to interview people, and the fact that he's saying this and that nobody's like the NFL's like, oh, okay, and then it's kind of a joke to me. I don't, if you're gonna have that rule, have it and make every team abide by it.
I think the Rooney Rule is a joke. It was appropriate in the past, but now it's kind of like everyone's gonna be interviewed.
That's neither here nor there.
Fair enough.
It's there.
Yep.
They should have to abide by it. You shouldn't be allowed to flirt with coaches who aren't even available because he was working at the time.
He can Gruden,
I'm just saying though, he had a job, right? The guy had a job.
Who cares? He's an announcer.
I'm just saying he had a job. If he's employed by somebody else, he shouldn't be able to. He had a contract too, right? So you shouldn't be able to interview someone who's under contract.
We gotta get into this more next week.
Yeah, this will be a topic for next week.
Pretty definitely going to be a continuing topic for us here on Man Up.
We definitely want to get some basketball talk next week. Definitely want to do that. And a new segment. We want to do some weird stories. We want to bring some weird.
We'll start with that.
Maybe we'll start with the weird stories next week. Yeah.
But listen, guys, we really appreciate you tuning in as always. We're here every Tuesday, 7 to 8. On Man Up with my beautiful co-host, Eric Holzman.
Beautiful, that's right.
And we will see you next week. Catch John.
Vote in the poll. Oh. I put a poll up. Who's better looking?
Catch John and the guys after us next on Laughter Saves Lives. Have a nice one, guys. Happy New Year.